standing guard for your heart. It's about access to you, and I'll always love you, love, and I'll always be there to you, about being with all you love. It's about access to you, about getting to the one you love. Gotta get to you, about access to you, about being with the one you love.
Be resolute of heart, make firm thy mind. The tongue of a man is the rudder of the boat, but the Lord of all is its pilot. Cast not thy heart after riches, there's no ignoring fate and destiny. Place not thy thoughts on things outside. Every man is destined for his hour.
On feeling goods where all of your cash went, not chakra alignment or inward refinement. Trying to find one word to describe men. Better yet, can one consciousness unify them? Pondering on these questions is where my time spent. Creative process, believe me, greatness got to achieve it. Ideas we believe in, positive mind, gotta reach in it. Putting effort to bring forth this new being. Being not consumed by the lust for things, but knows that his work is determined by words and deeds. Your mind is affected by words and deeds. Your thoughts are keys to what you're trying to see, and what you're trying to see should be to reach your goals. Hold on to your dreams, keys open doors. Since you can't always choose circumstances, make sure to choose your thoughts wisely. Choose advancement or towards the future. Now's your chance, kid. Accept responsibility, avoid resentment. Actions always take root from what you think about. Things ain't going your way, it ain't hard to figure out. Why? Why? Ask why. Ain't gotta tell you, it's right in front of your eyes. So in following these principles, you'll find along the road you're the only one responsible for your soul. It's no coincidence. Take control of your life, no coincidence. It's no coincidence. You take control, no coincidence. It's no coincidence. Yeah, it's no coincidence. It's no coincidence. Nah, it's no coincidence.
Old shells are highly prized. And this one is occupied by a sarcastic fringe.
It wouldn't get separated. Why they don't do this is beyond me. But this problem is very easily solved, at least on a short-term basis, by going through the port of entry. If they choose to go through the river, they're committing a crime just like anyone else. They're subject to arrest, and we all know when you get arrested, you don't get to stay with your family. It's just the sad reality of life.
So a couple of things, and I think you're right to point out that the port of entry, I think there's so much being thrown at people who don't know as much about immigration, certainly as you do as a Border Patrol agent, right? But there are a couple of ways to come into this country. If you are an undocumented immigrant and you are in the Rio Grande River and you come out on the other side, that is illegal, right? if you are coming across from,
even
say,
if you're a U.S. citizen and you do that, it's illegal.
It's illegal. It's illegal. If you are coming across the let's say the Matamoros Mexico bridge on over to Texas, across that bridge at that port of entry, and you're seeking asylum, that is legal. I know you have to be inspected, and the process needs to happen to be appropriate.
They have used the power that they have gotten for all the wrong things. They want to keep themselves in power. They want to cater to the special interests. It is time for us as Democrats to be as tough as they are, to be as dedicated as they are, to be as committed as they are. Michelle always says, Michelle Obama, I love her, she and my wife like really tight, which always scares me and Barack. But Michelle always says that, when they go low, we go high. No. When they go low, we kick them.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
I'm not going to take this anymore.
Yeah! We know where you live, Mitch.
That's my call to action here. Please don't just come here today and then go home. Go to the Hill today. Get up and please get up in the face of some Congress people.
If kids don't eat in peace, you don't eat in peace. If kids don't eat in peace, you don't eat in peace.
You cannot be civil with a political party that wants to destroy what you stand for, what you care about. That's why I believe if we are fortunate enough to win back the House and/or the Senate, that's when civility can start again.
But we can only do that if we elect people who are going to back our agenda and fight for our values. And that is why we have to defeat Nancy Pelosi, and Maxine Waters, a very low IQ individual. You ever see her? You ever seen her? Have you ever seen her? We will impeach him. We will impeach him. We will impeach the president. But he hasn't done anything wrong.
You are now entering another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of critical thinking. A journey to a wondrous land with boundaries that of clarification. Your next stop, the Sanity Zone.
So, you're a philosopher?
Yes. 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 I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply.
In about 4 seconds, a teacher will begin to speak.
I think very deeply.
Hey, you're listening to breaking news, absolutely breaking the news, breaking the mainstream media in half with Harry, aka The Brave. What's up, people? How was your weekend out there? I like this weather. It's starting to get cold and everything. You open a window and that brisk cold just comes into your window. I love it. Only thing is the older I get, my bones don't love it. I feel all the winter in my bones and in my bad back. So what's up? What's going on these days? What is going on? We have the caravan that is now at the border. Well, a lot of them, some of them, I guess, took a shortcut through somebody's house or something and made it to the border before the rest of them. But we're having a problem over there in Tijuana. And it's interesting. I'm going to play the video on Facebook Live now. So if you're listening and you want to see this video, I would go to Facebook Live to check it out. But let's look at this. Oh, can you hear it? Let's see. Wow, unfortunately, like everything, all the videos I tried to play, you can't hear the video. But if you can see what's going on in the video there, I'm leaving the video up. It doesn't have any sound, but you can see what's going on the Tijuana border. They're actually, the people from Tijuana, Mexico, are not very welcoming of the caravan that's coming from Honduras and Guatemala and picking up steam along the way, right? It's like it's picking up stragglers along the way. Well, the Tijuana police over there, they had to come in and separate the locals from the caravan because the locals want them to go back home. And you have that happening at a big time level right now over there in Tijuana. They're sick of having what they're calling them themselves. They've called them themselves invaders, right? And I was watching the news this morning, and of course you probably won't get it on if you go probably to CNN and MSNBC. They keep saying these people are just people looking, for a meal or something. But you have the mayor of Tijuana, Mexico, calling them criminals and saying that there are bad people in this group. This is coming from the mayor of Tijuana, Mexico, no longer just from Trump. This is coming from actually their final stop over there at Tijuana, Mexico. They've invaded Tijuana, and they say there's about 3,000 over there now, and it might swell to 10,000. So it's pretty interesting right now that you have actually Mexico telling them go back home. You're not wanted here, and calling them criminals and everything. It's interesting. It's no longer just Donald Trump. It's really interesting. I was looking at it and I'm thinking to myself, okay, what is the media going to say now? But then I changed to CNN and everything, looking for the same story, looking for them to be covering the caravan, because CNN and MSNBC have been saying when the elections come and go, so will the interest in the caravan, Trump's interest in the caravan. And it turns out, no. Trump said this morning they need to go back. Our military that was sent down there is now actually putting up more and more barriers, putting up that spiked wire and everything, trying to deter these people from coming. So it's getting real, right? And if you go to that video, just look up migrant caravan in Tijuana, Mexico on YouTube, and you see a whole bunch of videos in Tijuana filmed by people who live in Tijuana of this caravan being very violent to the Tijuana citizens, the Mexican citizens. So it's interesting. I mean, I don't know what you could say about Trump now being racist or something like that because of him wanting to actually defend and protect our border. I mean, I'm going to go to a Yahoo story. Tijuana protesters chant out at migrants camped in city. Tijuana, Mexico, Associated Press. Hundreds of Tijuana residents congregated around a monument in an affluent section of the city south of California on Sunday to protest the thousands of Central American migrants who have arrived via the caravan in hope of a new life in the U.S. Tensions have built as nearly 3,000 migrants from the caravan poured into Tijuana in recent days after more than a month on the road, and with many more months ahead of them while they seek asylum. The federal government estimates the number of migrants could soon swell to 10,000. U.S. border inspectors are processing only about 100 asylum claims a day at Tijuana's main crossing to San Diego. Asylum seekers register their name in the tattered notebook managed by migrants themselves that had more than 3,000. This book had more than 3,000 names even before the caravan arrived. On Sunday, displeased Tijuana residents waved Mexican flags, sang the Mexican national anthem, and chanted out, out in front of a statue of the Aztec ruler Cuauhtémoc from the U.S. border. All right, so these this is real over there. The Mexicans feel threatened by this invasion into their town, and and this morning I was watching some of them saying, actually echoing our president over here. They said Donald Trump is correct. A lot of these people are criminals. A lot of these people are takers. They've been offered jobs here in Mexico. They've been offered to let them seek asylum here in Mexico, and they don't want it. They're takers. That's not coming from me. I'm just reporting, what's being said. But it's really interesting. It's no longer, I don't want to hear Trump's racist or anything because he wants to defend his borders when Mexico wants to do the same thing. Tijuana wants these people to go back to where they came from. Go back to Honduras or Guatemala or El Salvador, wherever they came from. They're saying do it the right way because they're saying people here in Tijuana who want to get into the United States are waiting on line too. Why should these guys cut? That's what we've been saying all along. You have a lot of legal immigrants over here that have come legally, have done everything the right way, have paid the money they need to pay. And people go, well, these people don't have money. That's why they can't pay. That's a lie because they're paying the coyotes. They're paying $5,000 to $7,000 a head to these coyotes. So they're getting the money from somewhere. So it's really interesting. And I'm surprised, the reason the mainstream media isn't covering it, besides Fox, is because it doesn't fit their narrative of President Donald Trump. Now, when you see that across the border, Mexicans are having the same issues, they don't want you to see that. They don't want you to make the connection that these people are coming here illegally. These people are invading people's space. That there are criminals in this caravan. Sure, there may be some good ones. But one bad one is too many. If one bad one comes and kills an American, it comes and kills your child, comes and kills my child. One is too many. So, all right. You're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news, breaking the mainstream media with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave, on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio.
You got the thing that I want. It's the way that you move it, and don't you stop what you're doing, 'cause I love watching how you move to the beat, the beat, the beat. I can't help it but to stare. Got the temperature rising up in here, and this beautiful woman everywhere. But you're the only one that I gotta get you alone. Just find a place we can go. And I don't care no. 'Cause I gotta get you close to me. I gotta get you alone. Just find a place we can go. And I don't care no. 'Cause I gotta get you close to me. You got that thing that I need, and you're making it hard for me to breathe. There's a fire burning deep inside of me, burning hotter as you move to the beat, the beat, the beat. I can't help it but to stare. Got the temperature rising up in here, and it's beautiful woman everywhere. But you're the only one that I see, I see, I see. Gotta get you close to me. Gotta get you close to me. I gotta get you close to me. Gotta get you close to me. I gotta get you close to me. 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 I gotta get you alone. Just find a place we can go. And I don't care no. 'Cause I gotta get you close to me. I gotta get you alone. Just find a place we can go. And I don't care no. 'Cause I gotta get you close to me. I gotta get you alone. Just find a place we can go. And I don't care no. 'Cause I gotta get you close to me. I gotta get you alone. Just find a place we can go. And I don't care no. 'Cause I gotta get you close to me.
All right, you're listening to breaking news, absolutely breaking the news with Harry, aka the Brave. All right, so let's move on to a different story. CNN's Kirsten Powers on women who voted for Trump. They'll say, well, I'm not racist. I just voted for him because I didn't like Hillary Clinton. And I just want to say that's not, and I just want to say that's not, that doesn't make you, that's not what doesn't make you a racist. It actually makes you a racist, she says. So this is Kirsten Powers. She works for CNN. She's a contributor on CNN. At Kirsten Powers on Twitter. And she says that voting, you know what? I've been witness to a lot of white guilt. A lot of white people feeling guilty for what their ancestors did. So they decide that using that guilt to actually help other people advance, I guess, or give people stuff they don't deserve or haven't earned because of that white guilt. They feel bad. Or to vote for Obama because I'm white and I'm guilty. Somebody of my complexion one day did something. You know, so I've seen a lot of white guilt, but these days I'm seeing a lot of white people hate themselves. Actually hate themselves. I hear all the time white men say the problem in America is white men. That's pretty interesting. So it's not enough that everybody else is picking on white men. But white men or white women are attacking themselves. I voted for Donald Trump, but that doesn't mean I'm racist. Oh, yes, that's the exact reason why you are racist. You know, it makes no sense, but that's exactly what we're hearing these days from the Democrats. And it's gonna end in a very ugly way, because white people are the majority of the population in America, right? And they have to eventually stop hating themselves, right? And actually open their eyes. It's just insane. It's going to end ugly because you have other groups who feel the right, the need to exact some justice on people who are white because they're white. That's the very definition of racism. But these days, it's okay to say white people are racist just because they don't follow the same script that the Democrats put out there. So if you don't live your life like a loony Democrat, you have to be racist. I mean, I've been called a racist. I'm a Puerto Rican man. Actually, I did my ancestry DNA, and you'll be surprised where all of my DNA comes from. And I think I'm eligible to speak about everybody because I'm a piece of everything. But it's insane. So I hear it all the time from ignorant people who say you're voting against your own people or your own interest. And I go, wait, what's my interest? And they go, the migrants that they're sending back, the this, the that. They try to attach me to things that aren't my interests. My interest is America. My interests are the people of America. My interest is a stronger nation. My interest is a stronger military. My interest is a strong leader. My interest is a thriving economy. My interest is the lowest Hispanic unemployment in the history since they've been taking that statistic. My interest is the lowest black unemployment. My interest is the lowest Asian unemployment. My interest is the lowest female unemployment in 50 years. That's my interest. But the Democrats like to play this identity politics, and they try to attach things that have nothing to do with you, but because a group looks like you, you have to care about that. So I'm supposed to care about the illegal immigrants illegally coming through our border because I'm Hispanic. That's insane. It doesn't matter what color I am. I want my border secure. Right? But try to get that. And these are some smart people, kind of. I say that, but reluctantly, because they're smart, but they're led by their emotions. So they're stupid. They're emotionally stupid, but technically smart. But they never let those two worlds meet. Yeah, that's where common sense comes from. You go, oh, the poor people. And then your common sense goes, oh, yeah, but they should do this legally. Other people do it legally, and they're able to come to America and succeed in America. Ooh, look at that, right? If you were actually, I'm telling you, I almost have to talk down to the level of people who just want things. It's not about anything being right or wrong. They want their way, regardless of what is right or wrong. Because you look at Kamala Harris, right? Who has aspirations, I think she's probably gonna be the Democrat nominee, right? Against Trump. And she the other day called the Border Patrol, ICE, she called them the equivalent to being Nazis. You know how ignorant you have to be to say that? Or she's either ignorant or she's putting that out there to cause the strife between people. To actually say our law enforcement, the law enforcement we put on the border to protect our borders, or the ICE that goes out and gets dangerous criminals, to actually say that they're the equivalent of Nazis? Nazis? She is, if she's doing this intentionally, you see, and this is what I mean. Common sense says, look, Trump isn't saying anything like that. Trump says, I want a wall. I don't want criminals coming in. Oh my God, he's calling everybody criminals. No, not everybody, but one is too many. See, that's common sense. Then you have, do you realize that ISIS intimidation tactics actually is like Nazis? You know, Kamala Harris is supposed to be a very intelligent person to be saying something so stupid. But that's exactly what she said. She says something so stupid, so asinine, that you could only say to yourself that she's actually using words to incite. She's actually putting the perception out there. Because I never heard that perception. Border Patrol Nazis, ICE Nazis? No. She's actually trying to create the perception herself. So she's trying to incite the population to go against our law enforcement. Why would we want a president like that? We want a president who loves our law enforcement, who loves our military. Oh, we got one. It's insane. All right. You're listening to Breaking News on 103.5 FM, WNHHLP.
Will you forgive me for the things that I do? Will you forgive me for the things that I've done? Coming from where I'm from, not too many make it out. I'm just trying to be the one. I'm just trying to be that one. I like the dark. I ain't chasing the sun. I know I'm gonna shine when the time come. I'ma be the best that ever did it. Just gotta stay committed. I lose my mind trying to find it, get my head together. I'm stressing. Sent my brother a message. He promised to never stop fighting as long as I'm writing. That's what I needed. Through my eyes, he'll always be undefeated. He said I got it, and boy, do I believe it. I knew it since a youngin'. You know that feeling? Like you don't really belong in the pain, but come your healing, I'm strong. But what if I ain't have to be? Guess I wouldn't be the woman I am. Being broken is half of me. They gon' say they feel me, but do they really though? When it get really show who gon' really be down for you. Say you got a circle, but they ain't really around for you. Won't feed you, but that's your man's hold a pound for you when it's beef. Man, I'm just trying to eat. Everybody catching bodies, I'm just bodying beats. Telling my story because can't nobody tell it better. Leave it to me and I'ma leave them with something that lasts forever. Breathe again. Yet again, I need all the flaws, scars, and all the walls we hold to get off of me. I need a moment I can breathe again. Yet again, who to call when all the lights and shows is all we know and it's haunting me. I need a moment I can breathe again. Yet again, I need a moment I can breathe again. Yet again, I need a moment I can breathe again. Yet again, I need a moment I can breathe again. Yet again, I need a moment I can breathe again. Will you accept me with all of my flaws? Will you regret me when I'm in the wrong? Will you help me make it right? Will you keep me in mind even when I'm out of sight? I've seen so much, can't blame me for it. I've been praying more. A mistake come with a price, guess I'm paying for it. Looking back on my life, all the things I did right, I ain't really get much praise for it. But I ain't come to plead my case, I came to make my peace. Let me talk to you. Do you mind if I preach? Still a lot on my chest that I just wanna release. Said this all before, feel like I'm on repeat. Getting harder to sleep, guilt trips, got my mind drifting. Ain't much change, it's a time difference. Everybody still having a hard time listening. It's these sides to every story, only mine missing. They try to read me, but I'm not a book. couldn't judge me by my cover, took a second look. Past the chapter, believing in happily ever afters. At least that's what I keep telling myself. Is it true? I don't know, but at times it helps. Then I look around to see I got it in myself. Mind take me to an unfamiliar place. I'm looking you in the face, and all I could think to say is, I need a moment to forgive again, yet again. I need all the flaws, scars, and all the walls we hold to get off of me. I need a moment I can breathe again, yet again. Who to call when all the lights and shows is all we know, and it's haunting me. I need a moment I can breathe again, yet again. I need a moment I can breathe again, yet again. I need a moment I can breathe again, yet again. I need a moment I can breathe again, yet again. I need a moment I can breathe again, yet again.
I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply.
In about 4 seconds, a teacher will begin to speak.
I think very deeply.
All right, you're listening to Breaking News on WNHHLP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio. All right, let's take a look at the fires in the forest fires over there in California, burning, killing people, people dying in the fire and everything. It's very sad, a very sad thing, right? And I know Trump the other day came out and was talking hard against them, right? Against Jerry Brown, the governor over there, and their lack of care for their forest over there, right? Because they like, it's a natural forest and everything. They don't like to, clean up the dead trees, the dead wood, the brush. They don't do that, right? Because they like a natural forest. But it's a tinderbox. It's just anything lights up that forest, right? And let's read. This is from the Tennessee Star. Jerry Brown blames those who deny global warming for deadly fires. California Governor Jerry Brown said those who deny man-made global warming are definitely contributing to deadly, devastating wildfires, forcing thousands of residents out of their homes. Brown made the comments during a Sunday press conference where he warned that global warming created a new abnormal for the state, including fueling deadly wildfires. The Democrat said better forest management was only a partial solution to the problem. So what you have to do is you have to understand. Trump has been saying that California, for 2 years now, since he's been president, that California has poor forest management. They need to clean up their forests, clean up the dead trees, clean up the brush, clean up everything. And for that same amount of time, they've been saying Trump has no idea what he's talking about. Trump doesn't know what he's talking about. What is he? All of a sudden a climate guy? He's a forest, whatever, forest ranger, whatever you call those people. But they've been criticizing him for lacking the knowledge, or for not really. This is the reason they've been criticizing him is because he thinks that ISIS is a greater threat than global warming, right? Obama used to think that global warming was a greater threat than terrorism. Well, Trump thinks the opposite, right? And he also thinks common sense stuff, right? Like clean up your forest, manage your forest. Don't make it so that it's easily, it easily goes into flames and burns up hundreds of thousands of acres. Right? But instead of taking common sense advice they've been ignoring him and just calling him an idiot. Now it looks like they're the idiots. Managing the forest in every way we can does not stop climate change, Jerry Brown says. Now, keep in mind, if you go back to the 1960s, and you say to yourself, well, okay, why has it gotten worse? And you realize, if you go and you look back at their maps and the population growth around the forest, and you realize that almost every fire in California is man-made. It's by somebody doing something stupid, smoking and throwing a cigarette butt, lighting a campfire and never turning it off, or improperly putting out the fire. Almost every fire in California is man-made. And it doesn't help if you're poorly managing your forest. Let me read another article. Humans, not global warming, sparked almost all of California's wildfires, the study says. 95% of wildfires that ravaged California in the past 100 years were caused by humans, according to a forthcoming study in the International Journal of Wildland Fire. Excuse me. In most of California, if we could stop ignition during extremely high winds and droughts and heat spells like now, that will be an effective approach. Lead author and U.S. Geological Survey wildfire expert John Keeley told the San Jose Mercury News of his soon-to-be published study. While the public debate largely rages around global warming's role in wildfires, Keeley's study shows that human interaction with the landscape, no matter the climate, is causing most fires. So, and this is what Jerry Brown and the Californians have been in denial, right? And this is why Trump is such a genius, right? It's like he puts things out there in the ether, right? Like the Paris attack before, when he had just become president. He's saying it's a tinderbox over there. If they don't take care of, what's happening there, this is gonna happen. Then a terrorist attack happened. People started accusing Trump of knowing, right? Because he came out and he said, I said, why would he say, and I told you so? Why would this? Why would that? And he does this on a frequent basis. And that people call him wrong and he turns out to be right. I could point out one big one, the economy. They said if he passes these tax cuts, this would happen. The stock market would come crashing. Actually, that's just one of the predictions of him crashing the stock market. They said if he became president, he would crash the stock market. If he passed the tax cuts, he would crash the stock market. If he put tariffs on Canada, he would crash the stock market. If he put tariffs on Mexico, if he put tariffs on China, if he put tariffs, these are all predictions made by Democrats, and some of them really respected economists, right? But the genius of Trump is he doesn't care. He doesn't care what people think, what people with so-called high IQs and that talk to you with their glasses at the tip of their nose and they, you know what I'm saying? Those people who think they're better than you. He just tries to go about everything with common sense. He said, wait a minute. Okay. If I have a lit match in my hand, why would I pour gasoline all around, on my clothes and on my feet? Why would I do that? Right? So it's common sense. He goes, so if the problem is humans who keep lighting these fires either intentionally or unintentionally. Well, and the trees are dead and the poor forest management. Why don't we do this? And they go, well, you know what? Global warming is real, dude. That's what they do. Instead of taking common sense advice, they go, yeah, but you got out of the Paris Accord. Global warming is real. That's what Democrats just like to scream. They never listen. They never listen to common sense. Instead, they pour gasoline on themselves and light a match. Literally, this is what they're doing because they prefer to be wrong. Sorry, I'm looking for a song here. They prefer to be wrong than to be right with Trump. All right, you're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave.
This used to be the land of opportunity. People used to strive for peace. We don't even use the word unity until them guns release. Young kids dropping out of school, thinking they know it all, don't even know the rules. Grown men want to kill themselves for a cause. Innocent people losing their lives in the cross. History repeating itself, what are we doing? The revolution will be televised, still brewing. CNN cameras, satellite coverage. We heading for destruction, don't forget your luggage. Marvin Gaye's vision, what's going on? Back in 71, it's being reborn. We need to wake up, people getting shot dead. Homie lost his life for doing what the police said.
I just wanna know if we gonna last. The glass is half full, the bottom's coming fast. I just wanna know where's all the justice? Blame it on the system, no we can't trust it. I just wanna know if we gonna last. The glass is half full, the bottom's coming fast. I just wanna know where's all the justice? Blame it on the system, no we can't trust it. I just wanna know. Too much stress, but Lord knows we trying different drama every day. Too many young people dying, having conversations like, what happened to the youth? You really want to know? We stopped teaching them the truth.
All right, you're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news with Harry, aka The Brave. All right, let's get to some feel-good stories. How about that? Right? This is from the Wall Street Journal. Yes, you're hired. No, we don't need to meet you first. That's the title of the article. Right? So, want a job? Just pick up the phone. That's what 22-year-old Jamari Powell did in September after applying to Macy's outside Portland, Oregon. He got an email within 12 hours of submitting his online application. The message, we're calling soon, so answer your phone. And they hired him over the phone. He didn't have to come meet anyone. And that's what's happening right now. There's employers trying to recruit in the tightest job market in decades are hiring some candidates sight unseen after just one phone interview. That's what employers are doing. It's a tight job market, which means jobs are competing for your work, for your labor, right? So it gives you opportunities, right? And it actually hires the wages. And that's what America is, right? When jobs are competing for you, when you're a valued commodity. That's what's happening right now. And guess who created this job market? Donald J. Trump, President Donald J. Trump, right? And we have more jobs available than people looking for jobs. A low 3.7 unemployment rate. And then so on and so on. Lowest black unemployment, lowest Hispanic unemployment. This guy, against all odds, right, is actually making this economy not just work, but it is running. It's going. Feel good story number 1. Let's get to another one. Look, this is a beautiful story, right? With everything that's said about President Trump. Trump endorses Nancy Pelosi for House Speaker. Can you believe it? Now, Nancy Pelosi is literally going through a war in her party, right? They are attacking her for being old, for being a woman. And there's people actually who want her out of the speaker position, even though she's the reason you just won it. Yes, the Democrat Party is attacking a woman, attacking a senior woman at that. Ageism. Right? So she's the Republicans' whipping gal. But President Trump said Saturday that he endorses Nancy Pelosi wholeheartedly as House Speaker. I can't get Nancy Pelosi as many votes as she wants in order for her to be Speaker of the House, Trump tweeted. She deserves this victory. She has earned it, he tweeted. But there are those in her party who are trying to take it away. Yes, that's Donald Trump standing up for possibly or future speaker, probable speaker, Nancy Pelosi. And he's right, she earned it. The Democrats just won the House. I think they won like 40 seats. It's not historic like when Obama lost 60 seats, but it's the biggest win for Democrats in like forever. Nancy Pelosi did that. But Democrats hate women. I don't know what it is. All right, let's move on to the next one. Oh, this is a great story, and I got to get out of here. This is the last story. Sotomayor to Kavanaugh. Welcome. This is from Yahoo News. Sotomayor to Kavanaugh. Welcome to the Supreme Court family. Justice Sonia Sotomayor has told CNN that Justice Brett Kavanaugh has been welcomed into the Supreme Court family. When you're charged with working together for most of the remainder of your life, you have to create a relationship, she said. The 9 of us are now a family, and we're a family with each of us, our own burdens and our own obligations to others. But this is our work family, and it's just as important as our personal family. So Sonia Sotomayor, a woman. Well, not just a woman. Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor, a Barack Obama nominee and Supreme Court Justice. She's actually welcoming, Sonia Sotomayor. You remember her, right? New Haven knows her well. She's welcoming Brett Kavanaugh with open arms. I gotta applaud that, because the crazy Democrats that I know, they haven't been able to do that yet. All right, people. I gotta get out of here. You've been listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave, on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio. See ya!
The tongue of a man is the rudder of the boat, but the Lord of all is its pilot. Cast not thy heart after riches. There's no ignoring fate and destiny. Place not thy thoughts on things outside. Every man is destined for his hour.
I'm feeling goods where all of your cash went. Not chakra alignment or inward refinement. Trying to find one word to describe men. Better yet, can one consciousness unify them? Pondering on these questions is where my time spent. Creative process, believe me, greatness got to achieve it. Ideas we believe in, positive mind, gotta reach in it. Putting effort to bring forth this new being. You're not consumed by the lust for things, but knows that his work is determined by words and deeds. Yo, your mind is affected by words and deed. Your thoughts are keys to what you're trying to
I'm
see.
as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore.
Hold on to your dreams, keys open doors. Since you can't always choose circumstances,
Please stand up. We're gonna have a problem here.
now's your chance, kid. It's your responsibility. Avoid resentment. Actions always take root from what you think about. Things ain't going your way, ain't it hard to figure out why? Why? Ask why. Ain't gotta tell you.
I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply.
In about 4 seconds, a teacher will begin to speak.
I think very deeply.
Hi, this is Bella, and you are listening. W N H
L
L P
1
O G
point 5
5
F
F
M
M
New Haven
New Haven
streaming
live
at
www.
dot New Haven Independent
No, yeah.
.org
.org